Hi, I'm Paula, and welcome to Paula Forrester's Mysterious Ways. Do you believe that 78 cards in the standard tarot deck can truly divine your future? My first guest does, and he does it professionally. Next, this Sunday is the internationally known Awaken Fair, and we'll be showing a pre-recorded interview with Paula Caracappa, founder and CEO of the Awaken Fair. This year it's in Terrytown from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. You all should go. I'll be there. But first, meet Edward Vergasta, psychic medium, tarot reader, and animal communicator, joining us from the Imaginary Psychic Parlor.
Hello, my name is Edward. Welcome to the Imaginarium Psychic Parlor, footsteps away from the Light Club Curiosity Shop. Here we do all types of psychic readings, including animal communication and Reiki and wonderful stuff to assist you on your path.
Welcome, Edward. How are you tonight?
I am very well, thank you.
All right. Tell me when you first started to read tarot and why.
I started back in 1985 officially. Before that, as a child, I was always drawn to the cards, and I decided to take a class, and I never looked back. That was back in 1985.
You teach tarot as well, right?
Yes, currently I am in a 6-week course, just about to end. It's called Playing with a Full Deck. That's my sense of humor. And it is actually, I learn as I teach, so it's a great experience.
Tell me a little bit about the history of the tarot.
The what of the tarot?
The history of the tarot.
The history of the tarot. Well, it's been a while since I've looked it up, but I remember reading that back in the day before there was verbal communication, there would be written images, and I believe there were images found in caves. This is going way back, prehistoric times. And I believe that go ahead, I'm sorry.
One of the original tarot cards from the Visconti Sforza deck is hanging in the Guggenheim Museum in Manhattan.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So from my understanding, the beginnings of the tarot started in the 15th century with just the major arcana, the 22 cards of the major arcana. Those who don't know are like the Star, the Hierophant, the High Priestess, so forth and so on. And from there, gypsies traveled the countryside and added the minor arcana, which are cups, swords, pentacles, and wands. And so that's a little bit of the history that I know of the tarot. But it was always being added to. And now there are hundreds and hundreds of different tarot decks. How do you pick a good tarot deck?
Say that again? How do I pick one?
Yeah.
Well, I like to teach with the Rider-Waite tarot deck. Became popular in 1971, I believe. But I feel that you should go by the energy that you are receiving from the deck. So you have to be attracted to the images, and then you have to allow yourself to enter the images to see if you resonate with the energy.
Now you teach with the Rider-Waite deck. Why is that?
I feel it's best for symbolism. And it has a very good foundation, and many decks have that as their foundation, so it's easy to jump to another deck.
Exactly. I
And that's
teach tarot as well, and I teach with the Rider-Waite deck as well.
and when I'm in between decks, that's my go-to deck to use myself.
Right. You also do animal readings and mediumship. Tell me more about your animal readings.
Well, that came from a love of animals. I actually became a vegetarian because of being sensitive to the animals' needs. And everything is an energy reading. So whether it's done by cards, tarot cards, communicating with an animal that is either here or has passed, by photo, or someone else's energy, whether they are here or if they have passed over. It's all energy.
I see. And how many animals do you have that actually come to visit you at the Imaginarium?
There's only been a few, but I only just started full time here, so I have to give it a little time, and maybe in spring when it's a little bit warmer.
Now, I have to say, the Imaginarium Psychic Parlor is a part of the Light Club Curiosity Shop in Sugarloaf. So we have to give them a little plug. And it's interesting because it's in 3 different stores, and going down to the reading store is like going down Diagon Alley.
Yes, it is. It is. It does remind me of that. Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting to go down there. Tell me, shall we do a reading?
Sure. Is there something that you would like to find out at this time?
I would like you, I don't know if you can see this. Let me get my cat, Circe.
Ah, okay.
She's with my friend Zoe, who passed away. This was a shot, but this is Circe when she was about 6 months old. So tell me about Circe.
Well, the energy is, well, very much like a cat. When it wants to be friendly, friendly. When it wants to be mischievous, mischievous. And can I see the photo again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Ah, so did you live with her?
No, not with Zoe.
Did you visit Zoe?
Yes, very frequently. We read psychic fairs together. We did parties together. We were like the dynamic duo together.
Well, they are together, thick as thieves. And when you connect with Zoe, you connect with the feline as well. It's as if they are joined, their energy.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about Circe. Tell me about her personality and her habits.
I'm
'Cause
receiving.
I have 2 cats. I have
Okay.
Finn and I have Circe.
All right. Well,
And they're
Cersei,
both
I'm
very different.
receiving the energy of being regal, laid back, and finicky.
Very true. She's a little priss.
Well, I would say she enters the room like Dorothy Lamour. Do you know who Dorothy Lamour is? She makes an entrance.
She does.
Very slow, very on purpose.
Yes, definitely. She's a diva.
Yes.
What message does Circe have for me?
The message is not to give up. Is there something that you are going to leave behind, but you don't really want to?
Possibly.
The message is not to give up, and it's not over till it's over. So don't feel that you have to slow down, basically, is the message.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And why does she lay on my chest at 3 o'clock every morning staring at me in the face?
Well, the answer is because she can. And of course, you
in my face at 3 o'clock in the morning with two eyes staring at me every morning.
well, you may
She's
complain,
not
but you really do
a lab
enjoy it.
cat. She's not
You
a
really
lab.
do enjoy it.
Yeah, she's not a lab cat. She doesn't really come around much, except at wee hours of the morning. She's very nocturnal.
True. And that's also when we are very quiet and still. So it's easier to make contact, which is why there's.
You're
I'm
also a
sorry?
medium. I said
Yes.
you're also a medium. Tell
Yes.
me about working with the world of spirit.
It is extremely rewarding to either work with those who have passed over, animal or human form, because they want to be heard. Just like everyone wants to be seen, they want to be heard. And they want to share the experience. And very often, we are concerned about them, but they are more concerned about us.
Yes, I found that to be true too when I do medium readings.
Hmm.
What's some of the more unusual medium readings that you've done?
It's hard to say what is unusual because it's all unusual, but I love it. But the part that I like is that when a healing occurs, the person receiving the reading receives the healing, they receive a healing on the other side, and I receive the healing as well, being the messenger.
I see.
Forgiveness. Forgiveness.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say forgiveness is one of the biggies.
Yeah. When we were speaking before, you said you work with horses in California. How was that experience?
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Coming from the East Coast, I haven't had much contact with horses, but in California, the part that I loved is that they communicate with each other. And when I would walk into the barn, they would all turn their head at the same time, and it was very amusing. And I would hear stuff like, "Oh, this is the one," and then they would all turn. And then it would begin. It was very amusing, and it was very touching, actually.
Yeah, and you said that they had emotional experiences being bought and sold, and some of them probably just missed out on the slaughterhouse.
Yes.
How were their emotions?
Oh, unbelievable. The part that disturbed me was that when it's a business, not everyone tends to the animals. It's all business, it's all money. So it was a little bit disheartening to hear their stories about how they were treated. And thankfully, where I was, they were being treated wonderfully. And they always made sure to tell me that.
Does an animal tell you when they're hurting, when they're physically in pain? And do they point
I was able to feel their energy, scan their body, which was very useful for the rider. And you can, if you're an experienced rider, which I'm not, but they would be able to tell if the horse was leaning one way or the other. And also it helped to have better communication and understanding of the animal, of the horse, because you could have a much better ride.
Mm-hmm.
They were also competing as well.
With each other?
No, the horses with the riders with the horses.
Oh, I see.
Shows, yes.
Okay.
And some of them love to show off.
Uh-huh.
They really do enjoy it.
With their owners or with the other horses or with who?
With the whole show experience. I found it very amusing.
Really?
They would almost like turn on when they entered the ring.
Would a horse tell you when they were in pain or they were emotionally hurting?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I would connect with their energy, and since I basically was very gentle and I kept my distance, even though they didn't care, but they understood that I didn't mean any harm to them. Because they check everybody out that comes near them, the energy.
Right. I know. I've been kicked by a horse.
Mm.
I used to own a horse many years ago. And actually, I was thrown from a horse in 2007, not the horse that I owned, which led to 3 back surgeries.
Mm.
So I don't know if he felt my pain or I felt his pain, but boy, it hurt.
He actually did feel your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
form a bond with the animal, especially the rider.
Right.
And the rider has to be focused and calm, and that helps the horse to be the same.
I see. So if someone wanted to bring their animal to you, they could bring it to your shop?
Absolutely, they could. And if it's not possible, I can just do an energy reading by photo.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
If someone was interested in a reading with you, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, privately, you can reach me on my cell phone by text, 626-513-9709, or you can send me an email, edward@edwardregasta.com. My last name is Ragosta. Or you can reach me at Light Club if you want to see me in person. I'm here most Saturdays and Sundays. And the telephone number is 845-610-3968.
And may I say, the Light Club spaces are absolutely beautiful. And in
Yes.
about 2 weeks, we're going to have an interview with Melissa, the owner and proprietor of the Light Club Curiosity Shop in Sugarloaf. And we're going to be talking to her a lot about her products, her philosophies, her teaching, and her background, and her very witchy shop. Not just one, but 3 shops.
It's a wonderful space. When I had an interview with her to be a reader here, I was actually led here. Sugarloaf is a wonderful small community, but I felt led here. So
yeah, it's an
I was
artist
patient to
community.
meet her, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Thank you, Edward, for joining us tonight from the Imaginarium, which is a part of the Light Club Curiosity Shop in Sugarloaf, New York. Go by their shop. It's wonderful. Get a reading with Edward or the many other readers that are there. There are chakra readers, there are mediums, there are a plethora of readers there that you'll have a choice with. You can even have a reading with Melissa.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. This weekend is the Awaken Fair, which is nationally known, with vendors, readers, speakers, healers, and jewelers. So we have pre-recorded a video that appeared a few weeks ago with Paula Caracappa, who is the founder and CEO of the Awaken Fair. And since it's coming up this weekend, I'm going to be there. We're going to be shooting some video there. But you all should come down. But let's take a look at the interview with Paula Caracappa on this week's Awaken Fair, which is Sunday, November 21st at the Tarrytown Convention Center. In 2002, Paula Caracappa started a New Age Expo, originally named Goddess Day. Since then, it has evolved into the internationally known New Age Expo and Party, now known as the Awaken Fair. It is coming up this year on November 21st. It's a New Age Expo and Party filled with speakers, vendors, healers, psychic readers, and more. Please welcome Paula Caracappa, CEO and founder of the hugely popular Awaken Fair.
Thank you, Paula. What a nice introduction. And how interesting that we've got 2 Paulas here. It's quite unusual.
Yes, dueling Paulas. So tell me about this year's Awaken Fair. Let's start with the speakers that you're having at your expo.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, just before I talk about the speakers, I'd like to just mention that this year's Awaken Fair is a long time coming. We had originally planned this event for April of 2020, and then it was going to be then it was going to be July, then it was going to be November, then it was going to be January, then it was going to be July, and now finally here we are, and we are really going to have a live event finally on November 21st, and it's been a hard time for lots of people, and I think people at this point are ready for some soothing, some release of pent-up stresses, and for enjoying themselves at an Awaken Fair. So I'm very excited to have this Awaken Fair coming up on November 21st. It is being held at the Sleepy Hollow Hotel and Conference Center, which is a new name for an old hotel, the hotel that we've been at since 2009. Used to be called the Doubletree, and now it is the Sleepy Hollow Hotel and Conference Center on Route 9 in Tarrytown. So back to your question, which was about the speakers. The purpose of the Awaken Fair is to educate people about all things holistic, wellness, metaphysical, and the people who are carrying that message the most directly, I'm going to say, are our speakers. So let me talk a little bit about the speakers that we have coming up on November 21st. I want to first mention Dr. Michael Wald. Dr. Wald has been with us for a number of years, and he calls himself the Blood Detective, and it's one word, Blood Detective. And he analyzes people's blood to help them discover what would make them feel better, what might help their illnesses dissipate. And he's actually got one room where he's going to do a series of 6 talks, one after the other. And what enticing titles. The first one is Save Your Brain. Now, I don't know about you, Paula, but this Paula is getting older, and I worry about my brain. I don't worry so much about my body, but this,
The senior moments are cropping up.
Say that again?
The senior moments.
Yes. Yes. So that's one of his titles. Another one is the top 10 diseases and what to do about them naturally. The Awaken Fair is about holistic and natural ways to heal and deal with our bodies. Another one of his titles, back to what we were saying before, Paula, Your Aging Body. How old are you really? Not chronologically, but how old is your body really?
97.
Could be.
I've had 3 back surgeries in the last year. I feel like I'm 97.
He's also an expert on Lyme disease. And here's his title about Lyme disease and Other Lies. So he has a treasure trove of wonderful information, and he will be available at the Awaken Fair in one of the speakers' rooms all day. Another doctor that we have is Dr. Eric Kaplan, and he is a functional neurologist. I've been to him myself, so I'm somewhat familiar with his practice, and he has the most amazing techniques for helping one's physical body and mental body get healthier, and they're natural techniques. They're not take a pill, they're not cut it off. They are different practices and exercises that one does to enhance one's well-being. Then we have Eileen Reichman, and her title is kind of a long title. Why Your Cell Phone May Be Harming You, the Solution to Technological Stress, 5G Protection in an Interchangeable and Beautiful Way. Well, what she's talking about is the waves that are coming through the air all the time that are not only going through the air, but going through our bodies. Every time we pick up a cell phone, that electromagnetic field, sure, it's in the phone and it helps us to communicate, but it's also traveling through our bodies. And what is that doing to us? Is that okay? And 5G, of course, is the most powerful of these waves that we've been exposed to so far. And what is that going to do to us? So Eileen not only talks about the effects of these waves, but also she offers a product usually done in jewelry that will absorb some of the waves so that our bodies do not absorb them. So she's just a fascinating, fascinating speaker.
What are some of the semi-precious stones she uses in her jewelry? I'm just curious.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can answer that question for you. Let's see. I am looking at. I see that she's got some turquoise. I see that she's got some amethyst. You know, her whole, for you and for anybody else who might be interested, she has a website that shows all of her products. That's called Magnitude, like magnets, magnitudejewelry.com. And you can take a look at all of her stones and all of the different bracelets, necklaces, so forth that she will put the stones into. It's quite a large inventory of various possibilities. So that didn't quite answer your question.
About how a stone or jewelry correctly used can help eliminate the microwaves from 5G?
Yep, can absorb them for you. Absolutely. Well, you know, I can certainly tell by your introduction and your wonderful information about apples that you are very aware of the energetic energies of the things around us, including the various stones and minerals that are around us.
Great. Now tell me about the vendors you have coming in, or did you want to continue with speakers?
Well, I just wanted to mention that that Eileen Reichman not only will be giving a talk, but she will also have her products there. So she will be a vendor also, and she will be a vendor along with a lot of other people who, you know, I'm very blessed in that I have many exhibitors who come back to the Awaken Fair year after year. And then I also always have some new people that pop up too. So it makes for, I think, a very nice mix of a stable group of exhibitors whom the guests are happy to see year after year. But then there's also that new face and that new product and that new idea that people run into at the Awaken Fair. So I'm going to tell you about a couple of my longer term vendors, and then I'll tell you about a couple of new people also.
Yes, I'd just like to mention that I worked the Awaken Fair one year, and it was a wonderful experience. A really nice group of people that came into the Awaken Fair, like-minded people, customers. They were very excited about being there, and they were really wonderful to work with. So I miss working at the Awaken Fair.
You'll come back to us someday. You know, you've used that phrase a couple of times, like-minded people, and that is very much a draw for the Awaken Fair. A lot of times people who are interested in things holistic or certainly things metaphysical find themselves somewhat alone. They may be the only person in their crowd who has an interest in these topics. So they come to the Awaken Fair and they do find a whole slew of like-minded people who are interested in all of these holistic and wellness topics. So we've had several years. We have had Young Living essential oils. That's not too far out there. Essential oils are something that a lot of people have heard of and a lot of people use. Aromatherapy, either right on the skin or inhaled or used within different products. I actually use lavender every night when I go to sleep to help me fall asleep a little bit more easily. And I also have in my desk, I always have peppermint and lemon for when I need a boost of active energy to get things done during the day. So that is Young Living essential oils, and they've been with us a number of times. Westchester Body and Brain, and they do yoga and Tai Chi, holistic health and wellness for the body, mind, and spirit. So yoga is pretty, we've all seen or done yoga. We know what that is, but they delve a little bit deeper, and they do some work with auras. They actually always bring with them a device where the guests can put their hand on the device, and the device actually creates a picture of the aura that is within them based on the energy of the hand. So that's always very popular.
What would someone like me do, since all the back surgeries, if I wanted to be involved with them, but I'm incapable of doing yoga and Tai Chi?
Mm-hmm.
How would I be involved with their group?
You know, they do a lot that is, I'm going to say, mental discipline and learning. We think of yoga as a discipline for the body, and of course it is, but there is an intellectual, mental, and spiritual, absolutely spiritual aspect to it. And they are great with that. I have to say that I actually spent some time with them at their studio in Hartsdale, and they are terrific with not only the physical, but also the spiritual and the mental aspects of wellness, because wellness, as you know, it's across the board. You can't have a well body and a sick mind. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Everything is connected. It's holistic. So those are some of our people that are always with us. This year we have a few brand new vendors. We have, I love this name, Shiny Stuff Gift. And and they have.
I'm like a crow. I like shiny stuff.
Yeah, me too. And they have tons of sterling silver, and they have so much stuff that they had to get an extra table because the one booth wasn't enough space for them. So I'm very much looking forward to meeting them and having them join us for the first time. And then we have another company that also has therapeutic aromatics, and the name of the company is Sanasta Wellness, and their tagline is "Feel better from the inside out." And doesn't that appeal to you and me, Paula? Right. Start with the spirit, and it comes out through the rest of the being. We have another new vendor, Third Wolf Designs. Now, right there, the title is really intriguing, isn't it? Third Wolf Designs, and what they say about themselves is that they create artistry that stretches beyond the everyday realm. Ooh, talk about intriguing! Wow.
Right.
So
absolutely.
So we have a number of vendors who offer different kinds of minerals and rose quartz. I actually have a beautiful, I don't know if I can pick, I can't pick it up right now, a slight physical injury, but I'm looking at a piece of citrine that is about this big, quite large, quite heavy, that came from one of my vendors. And his name is Gary, and the name of his company is, don't tell me, Two Eagles Healing, hand-picked crystals and stones. And he always has a terrific assortment of nice pieces like the one that I purchased, and down to, very small things. I had actually bought a lot of little stones, yes, just like that, for my grandson at one point. And what a wonderful way to educate children about energy and about the attributes of different stones. And so we always have vendors who make an offering of those kinds of minerals and stones. Here we're looking at some bowls that create a wonderful sound when they are rubbed with the usually wooden device that goes around and causes the bowl to vibrate. And then
Tibetan singing bowls,
Tibetan
right?
singing bowls, exactly. And they come in different, there are different types of bowls. There are bowls that are made of brass. We're used to seeing those. There are bowls that are made of quartz, of crystal, and they make a different kind of a sound. So they're just, they're beautiful, and part of the benefit of listening to a singing bowl or any kind of a vibrating instrument is, you know, we are vibration, but very often we're broken up. We're not in tune with ourselves and the earth around us. And the benefit of any of these vibrating instruments is that we pick up the vibration. And when we start vibrating as a complete unit, we're in a much healthier state than when we are disparate and different parts of us are trying to vibrate differently. And in the world we live in, that's not unusual. So what is more unusual is having the whole body in harmony with itself, the body, mind, and spirit. I want to talk a little bit. I'm not sure how much time we have, so I want to make sure that I say something. I want to say something about the readers and healers. So, Paula, as you mentioned, you know exactly what it is to be a reader, whether it's at my fair or in some other environment. Our readers, for the most part, they've been with us a long, long time. They are excellent at what they do. People so often say to me, "Oh, Paula, you know what's what. Tell me who the best one is." I can't possibly do that because, first of all, they're all great. And secondly, it's very individual. I could have a wonderful experience with somebody and I turn around to Paula Forrester and say, "Oh, you should go see this person." And she doesn't have a wonderful experience because it is very, very individual. It's just like choosing a doctor, choosing a friend. You have to be able to connect with that person. What I always say to guests who ask me that question is, look around the room. As you look at people, see who you're drawn to. Then maybe pick up the Awaken Fair booklet, read a little bit about that person, see if that resonates for you, and then go see that person. I can't do that for them. They have to do that for themselves. And I think the result of doing it that way is that people have an excellent, excellent reading with someone that they are in tune with. And so that is always my recommendation when people ask me, who should I see? And our readers come in many different, I'm going to say many different kinds of talents. So you're going to see a couple of pictures of readers here. So some of our readers use tarot cards. Most people are aware of tarot cards. There are other kinds of cards also. There are angel cards, which are pretty popular. There are animal cards. So, and some people use just a regular deck of playing cards. So a reader might use a deck of cards to do a reading or might not. Sometimes the reader is talented at connecting with someone who's passed on. A medium might connect with someone who is no longer here on this earth. And that's another kind of reading that can be had. So it is...
Don't you have a medium that's also going to be a speaker at your fair?
We've got a couple. Actually, you might be referring to Joan Cara, who's a very, very well-known medium. She has been around for probably 30 years doing her trade. And she is going to be doing readings at the fair, and she's also presenting a talk which is entitled A Celebration of Life After Death. So I've been with Joan many times. We are friends as well as professional colleagues, and Joan, just every once in a while something comes to her, and she, if appropriate, she shares it with whoever she is. And Paula, you know way more about this subject than I do. Actually, I present psychic readers, but you are one. So
Yes, I am.
so yes, you are, and so even more about this. I very much was pleased to see that you were dedicating this episode of your program to Zoe. Zoe was one of our readers. I'm going to say our most popular reader for a number of years, and a very skilled and talented woman, a very compassionate, kind and loving woman. And I think the people who went to her for a reading understood that aspect of her, that it wasn't just information. There was a wonderful spiritual and emotional component to her work. So we all miss
Absolutely.
her. We all miss her. And the tough part of somebody passing over is we want them here. We don't want them there where we can't see them anymore. We want them here with us. And
Right.
a lot of people are able to do that, are able to tune into that spirit that's no longer physically with us. And that's part of what the readers do at the fair. And I think I told you this.
Zoe always makes her presence known to me around Samhain, Halloween.
Oh, that's so nice.
Little clips of seeing her walk by. The word gypsy written on the back of a car. Little things that only I would understand. So Zoe lets her presence be known, especially around Samhain.
Oh, that makes me feel good to hear that.
Yeah.
Wow. She's a special lady. A lot of people loved her. Oh, boy. In addition to the readers, we also have healers. And the healers mostly work with energy. And probably most people are a little bit familiar with the idea of Reiki. And Reiki is a practice whereby the practitioner gathers energy from the universe and channels it into the being of the person who he or she is working on. And that's probably the most well-known of the different energy practices. And for a lot of people, a lot of our Awaken Fair guests, their very first exposure to any kind of energy work has been at the Awaken Fair, and they're never quite sure what to expect. And really, without exception, they get up off the table and they say, "Wow, that was so fantastic. I feel so good." So it's a wonderful, soothing, loving practice that, especially now as we hope we're coming out of this pandemic time, everybody is worn out and ready for some soothing and some compassion and some attention to their body, mind, and spirit. And I think the whole Awaken Fair is about that, but particularly the healers are focused on that. We also have someone with us who I know from Florida. Her name is Ashley, and she's a massage therapist. So she is going to do healing work that is very much physical, helping somebody's neck or back or arms, whatever, feel better by her talent. Say that again?
I'm definitely going to her.
She's terrific. She really is amazing. I kind of, there's a story. I kind of found her, so to speak, and she's been with me in Florida, and she's been with me in New York, and she's really very special and terrific. So that's the overview of the Awaken Fair coming up on November 21st. Lots more details are available on the website, which is awakenfair.com, www.awakenfair.com, and you can get kind of an overview of the philosophy of the Awaken Fair, as well as specifics about the individuals who will be at this coming Awaken Fair, speakers and vendors, as well as readers and healers. A person can buy a ticket to the Awaken Fair on the website and can also pre-book an appointment with a reader or healer via the website. So everything is right there, and I hope lots of people come.
And the speakers are included with the general admission ticket, right?
Yes, exactly. There are some events where you have to pay extra to see a speaker, but it's included in the cost of admission. Everybody can see as many speakers as they want. And I just want to say something about that. You know, I'm sure you and I both, Paula, have been to well-known speakers in, let's say, in New York City, and maybe you pay, I don't know, $190, $250 for a day. And a day is not a day. A day is maybe 2 hours in the morning and maybe 2 hours in the afternoon. So here at the Awaken Fair, you can see as many as 7 different speakers. Like if you plop yourself down in one room, you can see 7 different speakers at no charge other than the cost of admission. Admission, by the way, is $15 online and $20 at the door. You could sit there for the whole day, not pay $150 each, but what a deal, what a deal. And then we also, we always produce a nice booklet. Let me see if I have one. Oh, let's see. Of course, when I want one, it's not here. Here we go. We always produce a nice booklet in association with the Awaken Fair. And the booklet, here's a couple of them. The booklet has a little write-up about every single exhibitor at the fair, what they do, what their skills are. A reader or healer is written up, but also their contact info. So for anybody who would like to get more information about a particular vendor or speaker, I'm sorry, that's my dog. They have the info right here. So I just wanted to mention that too. And a lot of people hang on to this. It's a nice quality little booklet, and people hang on to it for the whole year and use it to refer back when they are looking for practitioners within the wellness world.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Yeah,
so people can pre-buy tickets at awakenfair.com.
That's it.
Masks are required at your event, right?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. It has changed, like from the time I started putting this event together right up to today. It has changed so many times. You know, New York, so the fair is in the Hudson Valley in Westchester, and that's obviously part of New York State. New York City, which is right down the road from Westchester, has a whole different set of requirements for COVID. So the last thing the hotel told me, and it was actually yesterday morning, was that there are actually no restrictions at this point in New York State. So again, New York City is a different story. So really what I expect of my fellow human beings is that, first of all, if somebody is sick, coughing, feverish, they stay home. Don't come. I'll give you your money back. Don't come. Right. Stay home and take care of yourself. And if somebody has not been vaccinated, I hope that they wear a mask. If somebody is a little bit, maybe they are vaccinated, but they're still a little bit nervous about being in a crowd, please wear a mask. Please allow yourself social distance. I want everybody to be comfortable, and I want everybody to be safe. So, you know, I guess that means something a little bit different to each of us. And at this point, as I understand it, the state of New York does not have any specific requirements. And that's subject to change too. By the time we get to November 21st, it might be a different story.
Mm-hmm. Well, great good luck with the Awaken Fair. I'm going to try to make it this year as a guest,
Great.
not as a
Great.
reader.
Please do be a guest as my guest, and your assistant Anthony is welcome also. We have people come from Long Island. So the fair is in Westchester. We have people come from Long Island. We have had people come from New England, from Massachusetts, from upstate New York, from Pennsylvania, certainly New Jersey. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, because I'm in the Hudson Valley, and we're really kind of low on shops of like-minded people and crystals and things like that. So it's kind of tough to find. I tried to find a piece of moonstone the other day and had to go to 3 different shops.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Actually, I was at an event earlier today where I was having a very nice conversation with someone who is a collector of minerals and stones and so forth. And she was saying that it is getting tougher. Even the stores that have the product, they have less of it. It's more expensive. And I guess, a lot of the stones come from Brazil and also from China. So this whole backup with the supply chain, you would think that things holistic would not be a part of that, but they are. They are. All products in the U.S.
Of course they are. Yes. It's a China trade.
Yeah.
It's all the boats being stuck in the harbor.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Paula Caracappa, for being my guest tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me, Paula. I really appreciate it.
Sure. And I hope your event is hugely successful, as it always is. And it's a lot of fun. So I would encourage people to go out, spend the day, listen to speakers, buy some things from vendors, get a reading, and work with the healers, because that's an important part of mind, body, and soul.
For a better day than that.
So thank you, Paula, for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
So anyway, I'm going to be at the Awaken Fair with my assistant, Virginia, who shoots my video. We're going to be shooting some video there, and come down to the Awaken Fair in Tarrytown. It's a wonderful experience. It's a lot of fun. There's a whole plethora of people there, of like-minded people. So many things to buy, so many people to talk to, so many speakers to listen to, so many readers to get different opinions from, so many healers to get hands-on treatments from. It's a wonderful experience. It goes from 10 till 5 this Sunday, the 21st, at the Tarrytown Convention Center. Go to their website at www.awakenfair.com for more information and to pre-buy tickets. It's the Sleepy Hollow Convention Center, Sleepy Hollow Convention Center in Tarrytown. Sometimes when you try to mix your own magical oils, the ingredients are very hard to find. Or you go to the neighborhood Botanica and they're already pre-mixed in little cheesy bottles, or they all smell the same. Next week, we'll take you to a hidden magical apothecary with over 2,000 oils. We'll also be exploring the scientific and mystical world of astrology. So until next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, have a magical week, happy harvest, happy Thanksgiving, and blessed be.